And there we go. Just gonna do one more thing before we start. Gonna pose the rules for starters. Just have to restart. Seems fine now. Okay. If it keeps buffering on YouTube, just go on Twitch. Twitch seems to struggle less. Same name, same idiot, different channel. You'd swear I didn't even brush my teeth. Good lord. Alright, microphone is on. This is on off of mute. I think we're good for this week. So hello, my name is Shira, I'm a comic artist, and what I usually do on these streams, I talk a little bit over my dog that is screaming every time somebody gets near the door. And I talk a little bit about anything artistic that happened in the past week, usually to me, because lately it's only been like the same thing over and over, which I'll get to in a minute. And then after that, I move on to drawing my weekly webcomic Bootleg cookie. So, artistically speaking, I have good news about myself. Everybody else is the same. Hi Coco and hi Crazy Cartoon Cat. Crazy Cartoon Cat been, like, talking for a while before I officially started the stream, so it's about time I say hi to them. Like, it's been the same thing. Like, an artist gets accused of using AI, and they prove that they didn't use AI, but the proof has the proof that they did. And like the most recent one, what they basically did is they traced over an AI image that they had tinted green, and then chroma screened it so you wouldn't see the green image that they were tracing off of. But they also had their color palette in the corner, and you could see like a big blank spot where the green should show up on the palette. So yeah, it's the end of the year and it's the end of me, because I am getting increasingly tired of this bullshit. Because it's not just that, because after a while too, then when you actually use like a legit way of drawing, like sketching, references is a big one. I am the first to admit that I do trace over 3D models that I pose myself, or I use assets from the clip store, like poses already made, or especially furniture and accessories and stuff like that, because even with the new glasses, I can barely see the depth. I do see it better than before the glasses though, so there's that. But it's still not perfect. We should go back to Cartoon Cat Girl. Maybe you'll figure out how to change it back eventually. This AI crap just depresses me. Well, it's not gonna stop me from drawing. Because this year, not only was you guys, like, I made a whole deal of it this week in all my socials. Not only was I able to sign up for the next Red Dot auction, Red Dot Auction 16, I believe, on the Chuck Jones Center for Creativity. Like, I signed up one day, and the day after, my piece was done, because I was like... It came out great. It's basically fan art of Robin Hood Daffy, one of my favorite Daffy and Porky shorts. And it's the scene where Porky is laughing so much, Daffy eventually has to laugh too, but I tried to make it look Sorry, that triangle has distracted me. There. I tried to I tried to make it look like it wasn't actually part of the scene. It's more like a blooper where Daffy like cracks up and he laughs for real instead of like in the script. I like to think it came out looking the way I wanted it to look, so. Well, that's nice. That's lovely. And can you guys tell my hair is like frankly too long now for my liking? This is all water. My head is wet. Trying to tame the mane. Also, I am stupid hot. So now that I'm done with the good news, let's get to the bad ones. But first, a sip. Coco already knows I am full of rocks. I am the host of a rock garden in my gallbladder. Isn't that lovely? Basically what's going on. I've had issues. Very mild issues, mind you. But issues. I'm not gonna go into details because people are gonna go, ew. I've had issues. They gave me in November an ecography, however it's called in English. Basically, they scanned my belly with the gel and everything. And they poked me around. They said, does that hurt? No. Does that hurt? No. Does that hurt? Dude, the lube that you put on my stomach hurt the most of whatever you're doing right now because it was a little hot. Like, it was like, ow, oh, okay. So this week, a doctor called my mom. We have the same doctor, so I called my mom and then she passed him to me. That's quite a mug. It's tea, so it's fine. In fact, it's my favorite. We have 4 of these. It's a set. It's my favorite mug for tea because it's long, it's narrow, so it keeps the tea warmer for longer. You know, like superficie and stuff like that there. Math. So, doctor talked to me. Turns out my gallbladder is full of stones. So full of stones that he literally announced it to me like this. We found out that your gallbladder is full of gallstones. Would you like to call the surgeon to schedule an appointment to take it out? Like that. 1 sentence. No commas. And I was like, no, why? Because... And the surgeon agrees with me, technically, because the doctor did have a talk with the surgeon. If it hurts, take the gallbladder out. If it doesn't hurt, leave it alone until it does. And I'm not even uncomfortable. All I need to do really is to lower my my fat intake, which is something because I am quite fat. But oh god, I'm gonna end up on armpit.com, aren't I? Does it have Beauty and the Beast on it? No, it's some generic medieval peasant party going on. Would be cool though. I mean, we gotta take advantage that I'm not chroma screen right now so we can enjoy the actual colors of the mug. Because these mugs are actually quite old. They were originally a wedding gift to my Aunt Muriel, who then when my mom gave them to Aunt Muriel, and she completely forgot because it's been decades. And then mom was like, oh, those are lovely mugs. And Aunt Muriel, she's just like, alright, you can have them. That's my aunt. So now we've had them for a couple of years now. But they're really good mugs. I really enjoyed them. They're affordable on eBay if anybody's looking for something like that. As Shiro knows, a gallstone almost killed me, but I didn't get the thing out and the stones went away by themselves. Yeah, because that's the thing, okay? I looked it up. I did some research so I would know which pain I should look out for eventually if I need to get it taken out. And turns out that what I have are silent gallstones. Like, I am hosting a rock garden I probably have a little Flintstones working in there. But none of the stones are blocking anything, and that's why I don't feel anything. It reminds me of Fezziwig's party in Christmas Carol. Oh, that's cute. Oh, now I got it in my head. Focus. So I'm basically sitting on a ticking time bomb. And like I was talking about that yesterday to my father about how we were going to adjust my diet. BRB. Okay, see you later. You never know, maybe they need a pee. And he was agreeing with me that I need to lower my fat intake. I have to cut down on cheese. I will take the sacrifice. There we go. We'll come back. As long as I don't have to cut down on the Pepsi. Because really the problem is the fat, not the sugar. Need a little rake for that Zen garden you got on your gallbladder. Oh, that would be so nice. Like, get a back scratcher and just go... Zen. Got the gallbladder all spirally like in Uzumaki. But no, I feel perfectly fine. Like I'm supposed to feel like nauseated and pains in certain parts of my abdomens after I eat. I'm fine. If anything, I don't... Like, this is peppermint tea. It's good for digestion. I don't even need it. I'm just not taking any chances. And I was talking to my dad about that yesterday. And he agreed that I need to eat less fat. And what did we proceed to do yesterday? Spend the afternoon making a lemon pie with 1 pound of lard. An entire pound of lard to make the crust. And then I cooked sausages. You know, less fat. Lily will happily eat the cheese you don't. Yeah, she's helping me on the cutting down too. I found a way to fix my username in the chat, and though it may not show in your chat. No, I see it. YouTube Cartoon Cat Girl. And it's showing up on screen too. Yay! You're back to your usual name. I'm happy for you. But yeah, I'm sitting on a time bomb, basically. I'm a ticking time bomb. And I did promise everybody I told that as soon as everything goes south, I am calling the doctor and we are scheduling a surgery, which will be my very first surgery in my life. This is all original parts so far. I had 1 tooth removed. That's about it. I didn't even get stitches. Because I'm not a snitches. So yeah, that's what's going on. Not happy with turning blinder than I usually am and getting myself in a financial hole because I was getting blind. Now I'm at risk of blowing up and scattering rocks everywhere. So that's nice. That's gonna do great for my blood pressure. Actually, my blood pressure is doing fine because, like I said, I looked up everything that I need to know about what happens if something goes wrong. So, like, I got a plan. So I'm not nervous at all, actually. Sorry if I interrupted your stream. Why? You didn't interrupt my stream. You know who interrupts my stream? I interrupt my stream. And usually it's because, oh fuck, I forgot to turn the microphone on. Alright, let's put that here. So yeah, long story short, I gotta be more miserable because I gotta eat less fat. Good thing though, I am absolutely in love with green vegetables, and we had an entire bag of spinach last night, so I appreciated that. No butter. I put a little bit of salt, but no butter. And it was just as good. Bad at multiplayers. Hi! I heard something about blowing up. Yeah! I am full up with gallstones. That's what happened, bad at multiplayers. But hi! Long time I haven't seen you on the stream. The whole gallbladder thing sounds rough. Yeah, it sounds rough because it doesn't feel rough. I feel nothing. I am a void of emotion. But the minute I will feel something, it's supposed to be absolutely horrible, so I'm waiting on that. Like the first, ow! I will be calling the doctor. I'm missing my tonsils, a benign salivary gland tumor, and my reproductive plumbing, and good riddance. I still have my tonsils. I believe any chance of them getting infected was burned off when Mom gave me my first and last serving of Buckley's cough syrup. I believe my tonsils have been brutalized, so I still have them and I don't get tonsillitis. Knock on wood, but I haven't had tonsillitis since I was a little kid, so... But I understand getting them taken out when you got chronic tonsillitis, because after a while they're... Whoa. I've been here just not talkative. Oh, you're allowed. Of course, I will complain about it, because I am a peach, but you are allowed. You are allowed to be silent. I'm not Nintendo and I'm gonna start telling you how you're supposed to enjoy my content. Oh, I'm gonna get a cease and desist for that one. And my lone wisdom tooth, I only grew one. And I grew 3.5 and I got my half removed. But I still have it. It's somewhere on my desk. I quit pop last year after getting colitis. I've switched to iced tea since then. It has done me a world of good. I'm not there yet. I am not there yet. If nobody minds, we're going to switch to the screen. Boop. There. But at least, yes, I do drink soda every day, but at least it's like 2 maximum. Sometimes I can skip days, no problem, and I'm not gonna go, ah! But I don't want to quit it entirely yet. It is literally my only real source of cold caffeine, because it's not really that much more than that, and, well, I got ADHD, and I got the flavor of ADHD that you give me a coffee, and so yeah, it kind of struggles. It's just that I'm usually in church when you're streaming. Oh, you're bringing me to church? Oh, you should have told me that before. I would have cussed a little less. Oh, that is not a good move. Thank you. I am incredibly flattered, but at the same time. Oh, Lord. Is it because I say Lord a lot of time and that's how it slides? And your phone just into poof. Let us pray. Oh, Lord. There's a devout Christian over there. I made myself cry. I laughed too hard. Don't worry, no one can hear. Okay, good. Like, I'm Catholic, so I have terrible history with church. I have talked about that time where, actually I made that part a bootleg cookie, where a teacher wanted me to go tell my sins to the priest in the music room, which was soundproof, at 8 years old, and I was like, first of all, I'm 8, what sins do I have? Well, surely you stole some cookies from your parents. No, I just asked, and it's true, I did just ask. It didn't make sense to me to try to kill myself trying to climb over the fridge to reach the cookie jar when I could just ask, can I have a cookie? Because I had 2 answers. Yes or no, it's too close to supper. And I was like, well, I can't wait. I mean, if I have supper, I'll have cookies after. ADHD. I had my wisdom teeth removed at 18. Red Lobster stuffed flounder was the perfect meal for it. My mom even let me pick whatever pudding I want. Stuffed flounder. That sounds great. I never had flounder, as far as I know. I'm trying to think of all the flavors of fish sticks I had in my life. I am burping out the sausage I had for lunch. Yes, I know, supposed to eat less fat, but it was just one sausage and like this much spinach. Now let's just go to my script. There we go. You guys keep talking, this is fun. And because I refuse to go and tell dirty secrets to a man I didn't know in a soundproof room, and the teacher decided to humiliate me and tell all the other kids that I thought that I was better than them. And I'm like, what part of not wanting to be locked up in a soundproof room with a stranger do you not understand? Trust me, Shira, I put on streams during church all the time. Okay, that little rant I just had about stranger danger in church, maybe that one can get accidentally put on speaker. Shiro's a little bit of a jerk, but they're kind of right on that. And not happy with that. This week there was an article on Facebook about my town and all the people that were suing the clergy in my town for, you know damn well what for. And I was like, I'm laughing, but it was a real problem at the time, and thankfully, knock on wood, that is at least one thing that never happened to me. Because, jeez. People. A ton of shitty things happened to me in childhood. Thankfully, never that. From anyone. Now you guys gotta keep me talking so I can keep being interesting to too bad at multiplayers while he's sitting in church. And just as I say that, I need to blow my nose because I laugh myself silly. Hi, Ronald. Speaking of people that make me talk. It's like you know. It's like you're summoned. And none of this is a complaint, mind you. I'm in the back area, so you're good. Oh, well, if you're in the back. Catholicism sucks! I start pitching popcorn. I'm trying real hard to behave right now, but now that I know that I'm in church, I'm like, hey, batter, 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 batter. Come on. You're the adult here. As far as I know, I'm the adultiest adult. Missed last week's stream because my mom had a post-birthday lunch with my family. That's okay. That's why I record them on YouTube. Not everybody can make time for a live stream. I'll still complain about it, but at this point, it's really just content. Bon, this one didn't show up. Bon, bon, bon. You know. Because you need some negative content because the algorithm, oh, it loves negative content. And my mom's BFF, mom's bestie, brought a gorgeous birthday cake and even brought me gluten-free brownies. Oh, isn't that nice? I was on Hyper Voice Acting's Pac-Man World 2 Repack stream yesterday. Oh, like, were you talking, or were you just chatting in the normal chat? I need an adultery adult. Well, you don't ask that here. They got apps for that. Also, I am down to this because it is stupid hot in the house today. Then again, it could be part the house is stupid hot and I am just stupid. And also hot because I am probably entering my perimenopause. Yes, I'm at that age. I think it's pretty clear because the bottom of my face looks like my grandma now, so... was chatting in a text chat. Oh, that must have been fun. Full of trivia. I sound so sarcastic. I'm not trying to. I just struggle with my tone. Because I really seriously enjoy trivia. Even if it's stuff that I don't follow, because a lot of times Ronald will ask me, what is your opinion about extremely obscure game you've never heard about in your life? And I'm like, how about you give me your opinion? And we'll work on that. And unlike comic book guy style people, Ronald is not doing me just to say, fake geek. He really wants to instruct us. He really wants to share the knowledge, and I'm all for people like that. Same, I even have her mole. Oh, we're talking about the mole sharings? I enjoy trivia too. Everybody loves trivia. If you're in this chat and you don't like trivia, fuck are you doing here? If we're talking about sharing moles, this is from my mammy, my mom's mom. You guys can't see it anymore because it got pale, but it's sticking out now, so. And I got a big one in my bag that belonged to my pappy, my mom's dad. I'm gonna redraw that because I was not holding a remote, I was holding a Joy-Con. Oh, we got 4 people on stream. Hello, 4 people. One of us is at church, so Try to be polite. Wipe your feet before you come in. Like, I've been joking that, I've been making Catholic jokes, but bad multiplayers could be Protestant, they could be, Christian, they could be quote-unquote Christian. That's two completely different types of Christians. I don't know which denomination they are. I just know church and me, no, thank you. I happen to be a bit of a foodie, by the way. What are your thoughts on jambalaya? See? That's exactly what I was saying. As far as I know, jambalaya is a song from La Compagnie Créole. That's what I know. Ronald, what are your thoughts on Shaw? I'll let him stew a little bit on that while I continue the comic. Make as many jokes as you want, Shiro. You couldn't offend at all. Oh, I'm not trying to offend you. I am not trying to offend you. I am trying to offend somebody, but not you. Sometimes I like to think that some of my old teachers might accidentally fall on my content, and that's the people I dream of offending. I make jokes about my religion every day, so you are good. I mean, I make jokes about my religion every day. I'm Catholic and we're miserable. It's not either or. That's our whole theme. We're miserable. We have to be miserable. We respect the Lord by being miserable. We all think of ourselves as Job. And I don't mean Steve. I make fun of that because honestly, lighten the fuck up. You are allowed to feel happiness. Like, with the way the Catholic Church has been acting in Canada in general, I am freaking allowed to make fun of my religion. Most of my mom's side is Catholic, while most of my dad's side is Protestant. Moment of silence here, because that's exactly what's going on with my parents too. Mom's Catholic, dad's Protestant. Mom wanted to get married and dad Protestant. Ah! Humor! No, he didn't Protest. But they did have to get married in the Protestant church. Not because my dad insisted. My dad didn't care either way, as long as he got married to my mom. But the Catholic priest at home in my native village refused to marry them because dad was Protestant. And the female priest on the Protestant side, like, they asked her, and immediately she was like sweeping the church already before she even said yes, getting the stuff ready for them. That's how yes she was. She was so into marrying them. She's like, sure, right away. So yeah, Catholic, our theme is we're miserable. I'm just gonna read Cartoon's comment first and then Bono's. I never liked going to church, especially as a kid. Yeah, I get ya! I even tried to skip it by drawing red spots on my skin to look like I had chickenpox. Problem was the spots were too big and I was vaccinated. I mean, that should be a pretty big hint when you're willing to do that, you know? Besides the trick, the actual trick is to put is to take the thermometer, put it on a exposed light bulb, an actual light bulb, not an LED one. You're gonna be there for a while to heat it up, and then pretend you have a fever. And then back to Bono. Hello everyone, what's the cutest and scariest picture or thing or anything you see in your life, including from other popular cultures? Cutest and scariest at the same time? It's too bad I don't have access to my baby pictures, because I have one. I have one in my head. And Mom keeps saying, no, you were cute, but there's this somewhere in our photo collection, there's this picture of me in my baptism dress, where my biological, it was tickling me on the cheek here, and one of my eyes looking straight out, and the other eye is like, woo! Mom's like, no, you were cute, and I'm like, that is not cute. I would have touched that water, it would have caught on fire. I'm glad I never went to church growing up. Cartoon Cat Girl, I had chickenpox when I was a year old back in '86. Oh, I'm older than Ronald. There's a funny story about a priest in a confessional if you want to hear. One of my cousin's husbands happened to be from Brazil but grew up in South Dakota. And no cute or scary. Well, I mean, I draw on both sides, so artistically I'm bisexual. I draw really cute shit and really scary shit when I want. My family stopped going late in my childhood before my parents' divorce. I was forced to go when I was in elementary school every Monday. As far as my parents, I went to church for my baptism, my first communion, my confirmation in the world's itchiest dress. And 1 year we went for midnight mass, and never again, because I was still in the itchiest dress. And we were freezing, and my nose was running, and I was wiping my nose on the collar of my dress, and it was stiff. Also, sorry for the divorce, but it was probably for the best. If you're miserable together, better to be happy separated as long as everybody gets along, you know? So does that mean I am the oldest adult? I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. I'm literally older than Luigi, so... And I have been taking a look at my YouTube stats, because YouTube sent me an email about how my year went. Thanks to you guys, my stuff happened during my year this year, so... But that's all thanks to you guys. It's your effort. And, I mean, according to YouTube, my entire fan base is male. I highly doubt that. Because YouTube uses a lot of AI for their detecting and their modding and stuff like that, so, Like, I know for a fact Coco is a girl, but I guess with all the people coming in, they kind of didn't count that in. But apparently my viewership is in between 18 and 44 years old. Zolzes. Zudges. 44-year-olds. Plural. Because there's more than one 18 to 44-year-old person. I mean, when they announced that they would have AI scan our accounts to determine what age we really are, I freaked out because, yes, I am 43, but I know what I watch, and that's a lot of cartoon history, cartoons, Game Grumps, horror, and everybody knows horror is a kids genre now. My dad got too much into church after marrying my stepmom, who is freaking insane and constantly insists everyone follows the caring Christian rules. Alright, you want to follow the Bible this closely? Let me tell you the story of what happened to Jezebel when she tried to seduce a prophet. She got defenestrated. Next. What's funny is that my dad has a master's degree in science. Okay. Okay, I know what's going on. I'm not gonna say it. I'm just saying I've seen this situation before. Thankfully, not at home, but I've seen this situation before. Speaking of Game Grumps, I'd love to have Ego Raptor help me out with my Atari 78,000 Jaguar homebrews. Did you ask? Though I don't think you would have the time now, though. He always was a dumbass. There's always time. Do you have idea for Smack comics that are similar to other popular culture stories, just in your writing of how the Smack characters and stories are? I'm sure somebody with more IQ points than I would understand the question. Because technically speaking, I don't have ideas for Smack comics. Yeah, see, Ronald, as soon as it loads, there we go. See, boing. Bono, I suggest that you ask Gabe about that. Because Gabe is the one that writes the scripts. And I literally just... like, I have access to a lot of scripts in advance, but I don't even read them. I just wait for Gabe to drop a new one in the workspace that we work on together, and then I read it page by page. As I work on them, that's when I find out what happens in that page. So whenever I have ideas, it's usually for like one-shot characters that end up coming back. Like, I'm not even the one that came up with Chemical. Like, Chemical fills out all the slots to be a self-insert. She's not a self-insert. She was not my idea. She's me, but she's not me, and I'm not the one that put her there. It's all Gabe. It's all Gabe. a lot of the background jokes, a lot of the Easter eggs are me, but some of them are Gabe. Usually I will say when Gabe has the Easter egg idea. Like, my Easter eggs are usually visual. He's the one that comes up with the Easter eggs, like for Valiant Comics, because I've never had access to the Valiant Comics in my life. And people wonder why I have daddy issues. I've always been closer with my mom anyway. Okay, I'm a noob. Who's Gabe? Bono, sweetheart. Gabe is the other person working on Smack. He's the scripter. He's the one that writes the comics. I just do the pretty pictures. Gabe Lerman, the creator of Super Mario Adventures, continued. Yeah, because if there's no Gabe, there's no Smack. Simple as that. I'm glad that you, Gabe, and Beth decided to have Popple appear. Popple, that was me. In the latest page as a cameo at that theater. Popple, that was my idea. Because, actually, people have been begging me to put in Fawful. And I couldn't. Fawful is dead. Popple is fine, though. So, Popple was the second best thing that I could do because I couldn't put in Fawful because Fawful's dead. But Popple is alive. Popple showed up in Dream Team. Popple's fine. But yeah, Popple was me. Oh, something happened. Oh, thank you, Annan. Oh, we're halfway through my my watercolor brushes. Thank you, Annan. Thank you very much. Good riddance to Fawful, anyway. Yeah, he was starting to, yeah. He's a fun character. Problem is... Oh, he died. If I ever do a Fawful cameo, it will either be in a flashback, a dream, or in the underwear. But like, we have to take into account that he gone. Same reason why I'm not going to do a Huey cameo, whether you manage to save him or not in the Color Splash. Huey is sealed. And even it, same thing for, I'm not going to do a, if we just go by Origami King, I'm not going to do a Bobby cameo, I'm not going to do an Olivia or King Ollie, all dead. Or simply just, like, wished away in Olivia's case. I can't, they're gone. I can do a Geno cameo because he can come back whenever he can, whenever he wants. Same for Twink. So it's all stuff like that. Whether in canon they're gone or not, the cameo will depend. But in the current story, I just could not put in Fawful. Captain Lou Albano, Danny Wells, and Charles Martinet over. It would have been a real Mario Party for sure. Which seasons of the weather you like and prefer, including you, chat? I prefer fall. I was born in the fall, and it's coldish, and yet it's not as muddy as spring. I was talking to one of my friends who happened to be a carpenter, and he said that he was having a drinking game while playing Mario Party on the Wii, and I said, if only you had Captain Lou Albano. Okay. I'm caught up now. I always found him annoying and creepy. I mean, I kind of understand Fawful's popularity because it's the same reason Tingle got popular. Which is a goddamn shame because the wrong Tingle got popular. I cannot stand Wind Waker and Wind Waker style Tingle. But I like Majora's Mask Tingle because it's a completely different character, honestly. I prefer Spring and Fall myself. Oh, you spring forward and fall back. Like, so much so that in the first Hyrule Warriors, Tingle was one of my mains. So, yeah. When they offered him, I think Tingle is a DLC. I'm not sure. It's been a while. Fall is the best season. Perfect weather, colored trees, and apple and pumpkin spice. Everything. I've never had anything pumpkin spice in my life. Speaking of the original Hyrule Warrior, how long before someone requests Lana, Sia, or Linkle? Nobody did yet. Summer and winter because stay inside in winter and for Christmas. Summer's annoying, hot, but no school at all. Feel free. Free time all summer long. Ah! Winter for Christmas. Yeah, because when you're not in school anymore, winter means a lot of fucking trouble when you're in Canada! One thing that I do appreciate about living in southern Louisiana, it only snows twice per decade. Easier on the back. Less shoveling or cursing after a snowblower that doesn't start. Do I still have the tea? I have one sip and it's probably cold. When someone calls me sweetie, I blush. Don't we all? That's why I say it. I can take the cold, just don't want the snow. The cold is fine, because with cold, you can put as many layers as you want. Then after a while, you kind of look like a teddy bear, and you can't reach your pockets anymore, but at least you're warm. When you're hot, there's only so much you can take off before Twitch calls an admin. You know? Usually I say before somebody calls the police, but I'm streaming right now, and I'm already taking some chances with wearing a tank top. I've had a carburetor and a pressure washer crap out on me, and that really pisses me off because I need to clean my patio. That's why I'd rather be cold than hot. Yeah, less chances of getting yelled at by Twitch mods. And maybe someday would like to do a collaboration with me on a drawing. We'll see. Like I'm doing these live streams as a treat. Like I've been ridiculously busy just this week, and I'm always ridiculously busy. Like for example, it usually takes me around 2 days to make one smack page. But then after that, sometimes it can take me up to 4. And then after that, I have to work on a different comic. And then after that, every Sunday, I work on Bootleg Cookie. When I say on a different comic, it just means it could be anything from Auric to Aurora Man to Barbarian Queen Charybdis, and that takes a lot of time because they are way more way more work intensive than Bootleg Cookie. Smack is pretty work intensive, even if it doesn't look like it. Like it takes a lot of work to look like that. Because let's be honest, smack is not my style per se. It is how I interpret drawing in Charlie Nozawa's style. So that's already a bit more work. I don't know if you guys have seen the kind of effort I put in by Barbarian Queen Charybdis. It takes a couple months for a couple pages of BQK, and there's a reason. But at the same time, it does fulfill my need of working in a more horror style. Like, I keep saying horror, it's just that it's easier than just saying, like, EC style of Warren style. If I just say Warren style, I think maybe only Ronald would know what I'm talking about. But like the old school comics, they would really, but really, really be highly detailed, especially in the shading, because of course the earlier ones didn't have color. And that's the style I'm working with in Barbarian Queen Charybdis. But it's not exactly the same principle as with Smack, because BQK is still in my style. I just over-render it on purpose to match with the Warren vision, so to speak. I'm not too familiar with Warren horror comics, aside from how bad many of them are. Well, I mean, I'm talking creepy and eerie comics. But the pre-code stuff that didn't really have, like, a brand or a name to them, a lot of the pre-code stuff, it was not just gross, it was really badly drawn. It depends on my artwork because I have other things in art to do, so I don't know how long I take to draw, including mimicking Nintendo Drawer's style. Fun fact, if you are using Clip Studio, I don't know if this option is available in Clip Studio version 1. There are 4 versions of Clip Studio. You have a timer! Now here it says work time 3 hours 36. I've had this file open for a long time before I started the stream. But you do have access to a built-in timer in Clip Studio. But I don't know if it's available in all versions. Also, I don't know if you guys can see, but I actually cleaned my smudge guard recently. I let it soak in OxiClean for 6 hours. That's how bad it was. And then I put it in the washing machine. Like, it was bad enough that just putting it in the washing machine was not enough. It was just not enough. PSA, if you guys are artists and wear smudge guards because you're a messy artist, now is the time to deep clean it, okay? Or else you're just gonna get more grime on your art, whether digital or traditional. Speaking of horror illustrators, I like Atlas Kazuma Kaneko, preferably his late 80s to mid 90s marker colored work. And that's another thing I need to remember to Google later on. I don't know names. Sometimes I'm so bad at names, it's a miracle I remember my own. Friendly reminder, call me Shiro, but my real name is a lot more complicated. Especially for French-speaking people. I wash mine every week. Good move. Also, let's not forget, I have dimples! I'm adorable! But you notice that when I was talking about how long it takes me to do pages, I go by days because I don't know the actual hour. I have a timer, I just never think of checking it. Same goes for time lapses. I can program Clip Studio to record time lapses. I never do. But one day I'm gonna have to because... like, the quality of my art varies greatly depending if, like, I was in a good headspace to draw, or if I felt like drawing shitpost quality that day, or if I felt like being, like, super detailed and rendering another day. So I am waiting for my eventual accusation of using AI. The closest I got was one guy who said, wow, I didn't know if this was real or if this was AI. But like on the Vine art, not on Twitter, so it wasn't said extremely angrily. Bonus point if my first official accusation of AI is on a traditional piece. Oh, I'm waiting on that. Oh, that'd be Oh, I will unleash the beast the day that happens. It's also one of the incredibly many reasons why I don't... like, I rarely post anything on Twitter nowadays. And when I do, it's mostly... you know, when they got giveaways and they say, share this post onto your account. That's pretty much all I do. And the Throne notifications when somebody donates to my Throne account. That's all. That's on Twitter because I don't feel like getting yelled at for my art. 2, I don't feel like an AI bro finding my art on Twitter runs, even if I glaze it, runs it through their AI and say, look, I fixed your art for you. Because they are way too far for me to throttle them and crush their Adam's apple. The AI slop is getting out of hands, in my opinion. Yes, it is. And it all looks the same, too. Wish AI never existed. Well, AI image generation and AI video generation. Because that is getting greatly out of hand. Because AI can... It is perfectly possible to use AI in general for good things. But the greed of the oligarch prevents us from actually using the technology for good things. They don't want Star Trek. They want Star Wars. And this relates to what I was talking about earlier about negative content being favored by the algorithm because they want us to fight each other. That's why a lot of AI bros try to trigger artists, because it's the same principle as bullying. Like a bully will hit you and hit you and hit you and hit you until you crack, and then you defend yourself, and then the bully acts the victim, and then you get punished for defending yourself. That is the whole strategy. True, there is spell check. See, spell check is good. How about AI writing? Like, I don't say when you ask AI for help. The problem is when you ask AI to write the entire thing for you. Because then you lose the entire point. You lose the plot, basically, because you're not the one who wrote it. Does anybody remember the Willy Wonka AI event fiasco? Of course, AI bro would be like, yeah, but AI is better now. AI is more advanced. AI can do better. How about you do better? How about you try? How about that? How's that for an idea? How about you become a better person in general? Like fixing mistakes or sentences to make it right. Yeah, that would be... like fixing mistakes or sentences to make it right. That would be spell check. That would be Grammarly. I am literally using Grammarly. Like I got a little Grammarly tab right here. You can barely see it, but it's here. But like, I usually use it to check my spelling. Like it does suggest entire sentence changes, but then I'm like, I sound like a robot if I do that. I'm not gonna do that. That has happened to me a long time ago. I'm sick of victims of bullies getting punished. Yeah, me too. But maybe that's just me, but after getting a word corrected a couple of times, I'm going to have to remember how that word is spelled. I'm not just gonna slam my knuckles on the keyboard hoping for the best every time I want to write something, you know? Like what I'm saying is no matter how much shortcuts I take, I would still want to do an effort in what I'm doing. Like, speaking of shortcuts, I'm drawing digitally because comic paper is incredibly expensive for me, specifically. And using a shortcut, if I do one wrong line on my ink, I have a vector eraser that will erase the line immediately, instead of me having to go. That's one form of AI, technically. But I do not want a robot, or anybody else really, unless I paid them, to draw my comic for me. Because that is a form of entertainment for me. I like to draw, you know? Yeah, but don't let a robot do it unless it's helpful. Just, you do it. Yeah. And it's not like I have Grammarly set to immediately correct when I make a mistake. I make the mistake, I see the little red bar under my word, and I'm like, bow. Because if it automatically corrects what I write, instead of just putting the red bar and telling me, oh, that word is wrong, here's a suggestion to correct it, then how am I going to learn how to spell the word? Yeah, but Shiro, what about math? You can't do math? You've never remembered math? Yeah, well, it's not because I didn't try. But here is the thing. I'm not claiming to be an astrophysicist either. I call myself an artist because I can do art. I don't call myself a scientist because I can put a number in a calculator. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I want AI to do my laundry and my dishes so I can do more art. I don't want AI to do art so I can do my laundry and my dishes. Traditional art is so messy. Yes, it is. That's half the fun, actually. Except for charcoal. I'm left-handed. I'm clumsy. I do not touch charcoal. It's just pathetic how people even rely on AI for a freaking hobby. Right? Right? And then they pretend to be genuine when they grab your art and send it back to you after running it through AI. Or my favorite, when they found the cheat code, the workaround, they grab your art, they trace it if you have glazed it, and then run it through AI. And then they're all proud of themselves for finding that loophole. And you're like, oh, you are this close to getting it, buddy. This close, this close. So close. At least then it would actually be useful. And then there was someone that I saw that was trying to play devil's advocate. Yeah, but if you... Are you drawing digitally? Because if you're drawing digitally, then you're using some form of AI. Acting like we're the ones that don't understand what we're talking about. When it's like... You're just saying that to get a rise out of somebody. Because you know damn well we're not talking about all AI. We're talking about generative AI. Because of course Clip Studio, for example, is full of AI stuff. Like, we got filters now. Like, blur is a form of AI. Correction is a form of AI. Distort, effect, render, sharpen. Those are all forms of AI. They're not generative. But they do apply filters on the art automatically instead of you having to do it manually. Convert brightness to opacity is a form of AI. Like if I put in a drawing that I inked or that I really ramped up the contrast, it's just black and white, it erases the white and just leaves the line art for you to work on after. Shading assist and colorized that I never use are forms of AI. When I do use shading assist, it's just like I will use it. It's very pixely right now. And I will use it to see if the shading would look better if the camera was here, 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 here. And then I don't use the layer and then I just do it manually. I could just use the shading assist itself, but I use it to help me visualize how the shading would look a certain way with certain colors and stuff like that. But I don't use the finished product on the art because it looks like shit. There is a silver lining to generative AI. It is bringing to get otherwise dead genres of music back. Well, I mean, getting an entire opera to work for you, a little hard, but you could probably manage that in the... What's it called? If I still have it on my Mac. GarageBand, there we go. Of course, there's always the people adapt or die. Well, then I guess I'll die because I like drawing too much. Or when they tell you to use Adobe because it's industry standard, well, the industry's gonna have to standardize itself to me because I don't like Photoshop at all. And it's not stopping me from drawing because with Clip Studio I can still save in Photoshop format, so... Like, literally, people, when I'm done doing art for other people, what do I do to relax if I don't feel like playing video games? I will draw art for myself. That's how much I love doing art. To a point that if I don't do art for myself for a while, I will start feeling bad, literally. I don't know if that's my gallbladder telling me something, but if I don't draw for myself at least once a week, I will start feeling bad. Plus, honestly, if I want to see something, it's much easier and faster for me to just draw it myself. I would rather see the lines being constructed under my hands than having to rewrite a Google search over and over until I get something that kind of looks like what I want. But it's so nice, it's so polished. Yeah, I'll polish a turd, it's still a turd. Like, I don't think this is recent, but Cat and Chat covered it recently. Yeah, John Fountain, I think his name is John F. Fountain on Twitter, who worked on a lot of cartoons like Fairy Godparents, stuff like that. He has a daughter, and sometimes he likes to post her art on Twitter. And for her age, the art she does is like really good. And recently, somebody decided to run her art through AI and then posted it back to John, claiming that he made it better and that through AI she would have so much potential. And basically that AI bro done fucked up. First of all, you don't do that to a kid. Second of all, you don't do that to a kid of a professional. Because it's like telling me, oh yeah, you draw real nice, but you would draw so much better if you didn't draw. That's basically the argument. Like, as a kid, I was told to stop singing because I was, like, criminally off key. So I stopped singing for the longest time. But then I eventually started singing again as a teenager, and I got better at it. Exactly, what an ass. Yeah, what an ass. And not realizing that they were being an ass. Or if they were realizing, they were ignoring it. But her art is so much better through AI. No, it's not. It's more polished, but it's not better. I used AI to color it. You don't even need AI to color something. It's coloring. Just open MS Paint and use the paint bucket. You're supposed to be a grown-ass man. Like, dude, here. Like, drawing is one of the first things you learn to do as a teeny tiny child. Like, there's several steps of art that you do as a child. The first step is playing with your own shit. The second step is playing with Crayolas. And some of these AI bros, if not all of them, started and ended their creative endeavors with playing with their own shit. That's my opinion. Oh yeah, well I'll take your art and run it through AI and you'll see that my art is better than yours. Oh, the AI's art will be more polished than mine. But it's not gonna be your art. I will believe it's your art when you actually put pencil on paper. Not even digital? That's a little hypocritical. Yeah, well, I can't trust you with digital art because you're going to run it through AI. I can trust you with jack shit, really. Like, buy coloring materials or look it up on how to draw it or color it. After all, it's what Colin uses to paint murals. Okay, for those who don't know. Cartoon Cat Girl is referring to an episode of Whose Line Is It Anyway? With Colin Mockery. And I think it was Scenes from a Hat where the gag started, but he continued it during the episode. I paint mural with my own feces! So that's the joke. So probably if you look on YouTube, if you look up Colin Mockery feces, that's probably what's gonna happen. But don't look it up anywhere else than YouTube because you might find weird shit, literally. But there was a scene later in Scenes from a Hat. I think that the theme was things not to do while driving, and he was like gesticulating around weirdly, and Drew Carey didn't catch what he was doing. And Colin said, "I'm doing the laundry because of my artwork." Was one of my favorites. I don't watch Modern Whose Line, but that's literally because I don't have time. Because you need to watch Whose Line, and I usually just listen to stuff while I work. Because I'm stupid busy again. I am taking a vacation soon, though. Before the burnout. I'm just in pre-burnout right now. I'd never take one child's art and run it through AI. Ditto for my own art. I wouldn't want to run my art through AI either. Like, once the art is done, it's because I'm satisfied with how it looks. I don't want to polish it more and add mistakes in it that I didn't do. Like, when I do mistakes, I do my own mistakes, okay? I don't need somebody else to put more in. And you guys know I am very, 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 very anal about encouraging kids to do art. Like, I take it seriously like a heart attack, okay? This kid wants to do art, and I'm like, bringing my entire stock of art supplies. Go nuts. Just don't chew on them, it's poison, but go nuts. But yeah, the argument of your art is great, little kid, but it would be so much better if you didn't draw it. That is dystopian. Let's ask the most creative age range to not be creative, because then it will look better. Everything is about appearances. Everything is about the aesthetics. I thought you said donuts. Also, sorry about the constant. My nose tend to build up when I talk for a long time. Another thing that I inherited from my grandpa. Thanks, Pappy. I'm going on vacation this upcoming weekend. I'm so excited. I haven't been on vacation since 2018 for obvious reasons. The only problem is I'm gonna miss Belle. Well, ask for pictures or FaceTime. I'm laughing, but I would probably do that. Like, I tease Lily all the time. But I love the little bugger. So of course I would miss her if I'm away from her for a long time. She's a little gremlin, but this is a family of gremlins. So she fits in just right. Where are you going generally, if you don't mind me asking? I don't need to know exactly where you're going because, well, nobody needs a stalker. But, like, what's the plan, vaguely? Because me, like I said, I may have some tentative plans next year. But I don't want to go into detail in case I accidentally jinx it, you know. I do all my pixel art by hand using references when needed. So does Belle. She's a weirdo, just like her mama. Yeah, when I used to do pixel art, I used to do it in a Josk animation shop. Now I use as a sprite when I do pixel art because I don't pixel a lot anymore. I mean, last time I really used it was to do more sprites for Stream Avatar, yeah, and I'm not using Stream Avatar right now because it's acting up again. So yeah. Traverse City. That tells me nothing. Another thing I gotta remember to look up. Shiro, you're kind of stupid, and you don't know a lot of shit. You know a lot of shit, but at the same time, you don't know a lot of shit. Yeah, that's true. I'm not going anywhere with this, it's just true. Like, I'm smart enough to learn another language, not smart enough to use it. Like, como se dice, go fuck yourself. You know? It's in Michigan. Michigan in English? Ah. El Michigano. Yeah, if all goes well, next year, like if all goes really well and I'm not the one paying the transport, I might go to Fan Expo in Toronto for one day as a visitor. That's what I can afford. If anybody's been wanting to meet me in public and having me panic real quick before they introduce themselves, if all goes well, then will be the time. I will keep you guys posted. And I will probably be wearing something bright because I'm still 5'2" in a crowd, so... I'm going to my mom's cousin's house in Lacombe on Christmas Day. We're staying here. We're the house where people come to for Christmas. We'll be waiting for my sister and her husband. And then we'll be praying that we chose good gifts. I asked for some expensive stuff this year, but only because Mom was pressuring me. Fine. There's $1,000 sewing machine that I want. And Lord, I do not expect it, because it's expensive. And why do I want a $1,000 sewing machine? It's an embroidery machine, and I want an embroidery machine to make doll faces. Big anime eye doll faces. That's why. So I can make dolls. Sadly, making dolls and plushies is a sometimes food for me. Because the one local place where I could still buy fabric was sold, and now they just sell like pre-made clothes. They don't sell bolts of fabric anymore. So then I have to import my fabric, and that's another thing. Because of you know who. My god, I'm really sorry about my nose, guys. It's what happens when I talk. I am literally choking to death on my social skills. That's what's happening. I always wanted to learn how to sew. Or sew. I gotta remember it's sew. I want to make costumes. Oh yeah, like once you know what scene does what, it's fairly easy. Of course, I recommend, learning how to use a sewing machine, if only to spare your hands, because costuming is a lot of work. But sewing by hand can be fun too. But it did come in handy when I was working at the video game store, because a lot of our plushies were less than official, so they would actually come in like pre-messed up, and I would fix them. And sometimes, at least twice that I know of, the person will wreck the plush. The customer would wreck the plush themselves. One time it was just being mean, the other time it was accidental. Sewing by hand is great for fixing ripped, torn clothes. Yeah, that's what I was getting at. Like for a little Yoshi, this little kid really wanted a yellow Yoshi. So his dad got him a little Yoshi keychain that was yellow. And they leave, and they come back almost immediately. And the dad just tosses the Yoshi with his leg ripped open. And he said, yeah, I want a refund because we didn't notice it was broken. And I just looked at the Yoshi, and I looked at him, and in my head I was going, look, I know I have bad memory, but you guys were gone like 5 minutes. I did not sell you a broken Yoshi, is what I'm saying. But what I said was, and I'm pulling out my little sewing kit that I keep at work. And I say, well, it looks like it was ripped at the seam. It looks like someone tried to take off the tag and rip the seam open. Because I'm very subtle. And yes, I made a bootleg cookie out of it. I can repair it, and it'll only take like a minute because it's very small. And the dad tried to ask for a refund still, but the kid was like, oh, please do that, do that, do that, do that. In my head, I was thinking, you are not taking that little yellow Yoshi away from this kid, okay? And he was like, okay then. And I was like, sure, no problem. Would you like me to finish taking off the tag, or do I sew it back on? And he said, just fix it. Just sew it back. Just fix it. And I go right ahead doing the little invisible stitch. And I go, shoot, 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 shoot. All fixed, all yours. The kid was thrilled. The dad was... He was not pissed off, but he was embarrassed. I think the word I will use is embarrassed. Because we all know he was the one that broke the Yoshi. Trying to take the tag off. And I'm not saying that he stole it and tried to pretend that he had bought it when he broke it. He bought it. I was the one that sold it to him. And he came back 5 minutes later. We didn't notice it was broken. Well, because it wasn't. I'll have that fixed in a jiffy. Oh no. Yes, please, please, yes. Oh my god, my camera just went blurry all of a sudden. I looked weird. Every time I sew by hand, it looks like I'm putting various body parts together to bring it to life. Well, yeah. Yeah, that's what it looks like when you're building a plush or a doll. But no, there's like different types of stitches. He should be. Yeah, he should. There's different types of stitches. You can look it up. Like there's a type of zigzag stitches made for a more stretchy fabric. There's the invisible ladder stitch that I mentioned earlier. Like just stitching like Frankenstein stitches, of course, it's going to look weird. That's why you need to learn about different stitches. Does anyone in the chat and you remember Anime Bromi and Herdy Retired? No idea who that is. I'm saying that because my sewing looks kind of crude. Well, that's normal when you're beginning. I've been at it for a long while. Well, it's normal when you're beginning and been at it for a long while. Like everything, including art, and well, sewing is a form of art, it's all in the practice. But if you practice and you don't know what you're supposed to be practicing, you're gonna stall. Like just thinking I should practice my sewing, like you're just going to keep sewing the exact same way. But if you practice different stitches and learn when to apply which, then something's gonna happen. Preferably something positive. Before I say it again, Aaron Hansen, 2015. I didn't come out the pussy drawing fucking Mozart. My goodness, I am so gassy. They say peppermint tea is good for digestion. Oh, I'm digesting alright. I'm digesting all up in here. Gotta do some changes on my house coat because that's the color of my old house coat. Thanks for a great show, Shiro. It's fun listening to you chat with your fans. Our comic looks awesome. Thank you, Paul. Here we go. That's more like it. The Game Grumps playthrough of Paper Mario and 1000 Year Door cracks me up, especially with the toads going... Oh my god, I don't know if I got the voice for that. Water! Oh, that was rough. Toad is not one of mine. I can do Toad, it's just really rough on me. Alright, I believe we're good for today. We had a good session today. Great progress. Great progress, everybody. You all did great. And with that, it's time to read super fast. Because we are going to the bookend. And we give extra special caramel drizzle, rainbow sprinkled, chocolate syrup thanks to our supporters: Ember B, Paul K, Miss of Viz, Bad at Multiplayers, Matthew H, Blas 6, Laura S, Artsy Teduk, Jeff B, and our part-time supporters, Super Dude 808 and Rocket Mouse. Your continued or part-time support is appreciated. Next live stream is going to be the last live stream of the year because I'm going on vacation immediately after. Bad at Multiplayer says applause. Thank you. Did that all in one go, too. So the next live stream is going to be, and the last one of the year, again, let us remember, it's going to be next Sunday, December 21st at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. That's my time, not your time. Maybe your time, I don't know you, I don't know your life. Hope you guys had fun watching me draw. This a lot of fun drawing. I'll see you guys next week, and then I will then wish you Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year because I will be in bed for 2 weeks. I can do a decent Toad, but Ghost Toad destroys my throat. Yeah, I'm not going there. I love you all. And bye-bye.